Hello. I'm still reading from the Color Complex. Excuse the lighting, it's late. I've been doing a lot of work on the Connerson Center, um, coming up with new ads for social media and things like that. So I'm very busy today, trying to finish up some courses for Udemy, and I didn't even get to that. But let's finish dealing with this color nonsense that is plaguing us. Some black families not only caution their children not to marry someone darker, but insist that the children lighten the line. A black professional we'll call David, who is married to a white woman, has five siblings who also married whites. At the six siblings' wedding reception, David's light-skinned father gleefully gave his toast. Before long, there'll be no black left in our family. A dark-skinned woman from Chicago remembers being told to think about the children and marry only someone lighter than herself. But she was also told that as a black nappy-headed girl, she would probably never get such a man. So she had better get a good education. She is now a PhD and divorced from the light-skinned man she married to please her family. Black families can also be cruel in their treatment of in-laws who do not measure up to the color barometer. One such case the authors have heard about involves a dark-skinned black man who married a light-skinned woman from a color-struck family in Mississippi. The in-laws eventually learned to accept him, but they continued to refuse to allow him in their house. And on New Year's Day, they adhered to an old superstition that having a dark-skinned black in one's home on New Year's Day spelled bad luck for the rest of the year. Madness. Not all black parents want their children to marry someone as light or as lighter than themselves. One dark-skinned professional woman with dreadlocked hair, divorced from a white Englishman, was worried to distraction that her son would marry an Asian woman he had been dating for several years. The mother was determined that he marry someone at least as dark as she was, and she admitted that, if she could, she would arrange his marriage simply to prevent him from marrying someone light. Pressure from black parents to lighten or darken the line can lead some children to rebel. Light-skinned teenagers in particular may intentionally date blacks who are darker. As one prominent African American businessman recalls, there was a time in the 60s when I would actively seek out only tall black women to date. No puke yellow black woman or snow queen for me. Dark-skinned women were not only a way for me to confirm my blackness, but also a way for me to rebel against my parents and their bourgeois ways. Excuse me. When families are extended through divorce and remarriage, bringing light-skinned and dark-skinned black children from previous relationships together under one roof, tensions over color differences can become explosive. Color prejudiced step-parents may reject stepchildren who are too light or too dark. Singer and actress Eartha Kitt, whose stepfather spurned her for being half white, recalls him saying, "I won't have that little yellow gal in my house." Kit's mother, forced to choose between her daughter and the man she loved, gave the child away, first farming her out to relatives and eventually having her placed in a foster home. It's terrible. Biracial families also have the potential to produce enormous variations in color and features among their children, and one might expect them to experience intense color conflicts as well. Instead, in interview after interview that we conducted with adult biracial children of black and white marriages, all maintained that their parents had been very much attuned to color issues. perhaps because the parents had thought carefully about the consequences of race mixing. They proved to be better equipped to handle color related conflicts than many black parents. Color preferences all too often come into play when black families adopt. In the black baby market, light skinned babies go first, a fact that disturbs many black activists. Zena Oglesby, the founder and executive director of Los Angeles Institute of Black Parenting, reports that about 40% of the black couples wanting to adopt specifically request children who are light skinned. He tries to combat this syndrome by encouraging prospective parents to look at children of all skin tones. But the practice of choosing children by color is widespread. In 1990, the American Civil Liberties Union filed a report charging the New York City Child Welfare Administration with making foster home placements on the basis of skin color and hair texture. Evidence from the case records indicated that 72% of the children available for adoption or foster home placement were described not just by race but also by color. Sidney Duncan, the president of a child welfare agency in Detroit, called homes for black children, points out, however, the skin color information is not necessarily discriminatory but helps black couples adopt children who look something like themselves. Others contend that darker skinned middle class black couples in particular request children with light skin and straight hair. In his book on the black bourgeoisie, Certain People, Stephen Birmingham claims that some wealthy black couples who are able to have children themselves instead adopt light-skinned children to avoid the possibility of producing a dark-skinned child. This is madness. This is an older book, but we're still going through this. Insanity. And I wanted to bring it to your attention. And just, what else can you say? But it's madness. Until next time, I want to thank you for your support. I want to say take care of your mind, take care of your body, and please be safe out here.